Welcome to Rauta. This video is done in commercial collaboration with our sponsor, Steelfest. Black metal hails from Spain. This I have a band from Germany who has a very fresh debut album. This one is Feldgrau with the debut album called Stahlgewittern. Um, I'm no German expert, so obviously I'm not gonna go deep into interpreting these names and titles and whatever. But the overall thing is pretty obvious. This band is all about World War One, and that's the whole theme of the album. Now, as you might know, World War One was one hell of a war. A lot of people died for basically nothing. So I guess it's dark and sinister story enough to be told time and time after again, and especially with those movies going on about it. Like there was this the news from the Restaurant Front remake recently. I guess it's very timely thing to go all about it once again. So a lot of soldiers on different fronts died and died for nothing, and these kind of albums might be indeed honoring them for in various ways. Now, when it comes to the music, this one is from raw end of melodic black metal, but still it's melodic black metal. So if you're expecting some ultra, raw and primitive black metal, you have gone in the wrong address and in the wrong direction. But please, May, let's tackle in the basic things here now that you've seen the CD being unboxed and learn the basics. Now, this is quite a young band, only 3 years by now, and they started as all the good bands should with demo and then moving on with that. So technically speaking, as far as I know, this is the third release so far, and indeed, this is a two-man band, which you can basically figure out from the lineup here. Maybe, I don't know, sometimes these are outdated information, so who knows if they're like session musician, whatever, but we're not going to talk about those details. That's what interviews and all those are for. But this is how it looks. 41 minutes, roughly, give or take. These seconds are not always super accurate, in case you're wondering what I mean with that, and 10 tracks. And the style is rather fierce, fast tempo, aggressive black metal, but there are lots of melodies to go with that. And that's kind of a thing which is adding somewhat catchiness to this album. I know some people are raising eyebrows now. What do you mean catchiness in black metal? Well, how do you do that in raw black metal? But like I said, the raw end of things here basically mean the production. Yes, definitely not for those who are looking for some kind of a I don't know, Dimmu Borgir kind of a big ass production. These guitars sound kind of like wailing and screaming, and as such, they kind of fit the mood very well here. And I gotta say, this cover art is, in my opinion, quite beautiful in the all grimness and dark feeling what I'm getting into it, but kind of already gets you into the battlefield mentally anyway. But when it comes to the riffs, I mean, they're way more raw and more primitive bands in black metal territory, and for some this might be even too melodic. Sometimes it's not just like going overboard with it, but there are parts where this is something like very German sounding. I mean, whether we're talking about bands like Mavorin, Totenwache, Sarkrista, and things like that, you kind of get the German feeling coming out of these melodies. It's almost as branding thing than so-called French black metal melodies, or some would say Swedish black metal is. These are the kind of different styles, and I don't know how deep into culture you have to kind of deep to them to see, out of from your consciousness, subconscious, to just kind of like figure out instantly, like this is German band, this is French band, that is Swedish band, those are Finnish guys, and whatever. And this combo, having the kind of a raw end of production with also fierce and fast, songwriting, uh, it's kind of creating an interesting combo. On the other hand, there are parts where this kind of a just like stops in motion. Like it's almost like the band goes way too deep into the fields of, melodic things. I mean, they are like so much in love with, doing those melodies that it kind of almost starts to annoy. Well, not annoy, but kind of a bore you, especially me who likes good melodies, but these are not that good. I mean, this is not your next dissection or things like that. But of course, it comes down with, personal taste and all. But I like the fierceness and I like the aggressiveness, which is very much present here on the album. Also, what is noteworthy is that how crazy and insane those vocals sound. Definitely not for everybody. Might be kind of acquired taste kind of a thing, but I think they're adding an important layer here. They're not your typical screamy vocals, not those kind of raspy ones, but somewhere in the middle. So it's kind of a weird, insane shriekiness, which just goes with the war theme quite well. It's almost like some lunatic raving about on the battlefield, like this guy on the front cover and just trying to get the voice done through the gas mask before he's shot into pieces or stepping onto a mine or whatever. Um, Quite potential, but given that this is the first album, I think the band is still very much like learning to pull the ropes and all that stuff. Being, I think it's kind of a going overboard with the melodies sometimes, and it could be really more focused on that. But like I said, that being said, there are points where this goes rather interesting, and while it sounds kind of a typical German, it also gives you ideas that this band could actually have something unique on the long run. Maybe this is not the album that is gonna just convince you just yet, but then again, I don't know. There are bands which are operating roughly in the same field, the kind of a more modern than just 90s take of this kind of stuff, be it Minenferver or whatever, and you kind of get to it like, yeah, this is kind of a 1990s inspired album, but then again, the overall feeling is way more modern. And that is not a bad thing, that is not a good thing, that is just a thing. More like a direction where some of these bands are going. Now, if I got your interest with the release, of course, go to check out the band on your favorite service or just go with the physical product. You will find these links provided in the description box, so you will find Bandcamp, Facebook, etc. And of course, you can just go with googling skills and find about. For example, this is pretty much available for Bandcamp from streaming. So check out the music, and if you like it, go for the physical product. Like I always keep saying, let's keep eyes and ears peeled for the band in the near future as well. Who knows? They might surprise in us in a very very positive ways. This is Rauta. See you soon. More reviews coming away. Bye bye.